what comes next. Joining us now is Caroline Sunshine. She is the Deputy Director of Communications for the Trump campaign. Caroline, thanks for being with us here on the Hill. First time. It's been a long time since I spoke with you. Nice to see you. I'll say in advance if the president takes to the microphone, we'll jump in. Apologies in advance, but let's get to it. The expectation is that Donald Trump will announce on Monday. Is that what we can expect, the pick coming on Monday from Donald Trump?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but according to President Biden, President Trump is his vice president. Of course, at the big boy press conference yesterday, there was a big disaster as usual. But look, I would tell you, of course, that the only one who knows who and when President Trump is going to announce his vice president, of course, is President Trump himself. But could it be a clear point of contrast, as is everything these days, between our two campaigns? You know, our campaign is fielding endless speculation on who President Trump is going to select as his vice president, partly because President Trump, we couldn't be prouder to have him as our nominee. He's unified and inspired our party. You contrast that with, you know, endless questions with the Biden campaign on if their VP nominee is going to replace their nominee. But look, whoever President Trump selects, he understands how high the stakes are for this country, and he's going to pick someone who's going to be a great partner in supporting his mission to make America wealthy, safe, strong, and great again.
So let's go through these candidates, and I know you know, I don't even know if the pick has been official from Donald Trump or not. But when you look at the four that he discussed today, it's 3 senators, 1 governor. Tim Scott, who is black, Marco Rubio, who is Hispanic. You've got men in the Senate, governors, minorities. I'm looking at that list there, Caroline. I don't see a woman on it. Why not?
Well, again, I would tell you, just because lists or names are out in the ether, it's the guessing game for everybody. The only person who knows who President Trump, again, is going to pick is President Trump himself. All of this is just speculation. And the good news about President Trump is when he has news to make, you usually certainly know it. But look, President Trump's focus is also on, as you mentioned, our convention this upcoming week, where we certainly expect him to make lots of news. And since you mentioned women, our convention is dedicated to the forgotten men and women of America. That is, of course, who President Trump has been fighting for since he came down that escalator in 2015. And he has a platform that reflects their wants and needs. And we're looking forward to bringing his winning message to the great people in Milwaukee.
So let me ask you about that Wall Street Journal op-ed from the editorial board there, because they note how J.D. Vance called for a minimum national standard as it relates to abortion. Marco Rubio sponsored a Senate bill to restrict abortions at 15 weeks. They note that Doug Burgum had argued for an abortion policy that is a question for the states. The Wall Street Journal essentially dividing the line there between Rubio and Vance and Burgum. Who got it right? Who got that policy right?
Well, I would tell you, like I said, it's President Trump who's the leader of the Republican Party, and whoever he selects as his vice president is going to serve at the pleasure of the president. They will serve in the executive office of the president, and it's President Trump who directs policy. And so whatever their past or current positions may have been, it's important to note that they will represent President Trump's position, which is that President Trump has said abortion is an issue to be left to the states. You saw that reflected in our new policy platform that just came out, which was celebrated, I might add, by over 7 national large pro-family and pro-life groups. And of course, we can't talk about being pro-life without talking about what's going on at the southern border. You know, if we talk about protecting life, which we do, we have to talk about protecting our women and our children. You've seen at the top of that party platform that the #1 priority is securing our border, and that's because you can't be pro-open border and also be pro-women and pro-children.
Speaking of women, is Melania Trump going to speak?
We are looking forward to the First Lady joining us in Milwaukee. What a tremendous First Lady she was. She brings grace and class to every event. I won't get ahead of the president or our campaign, but I'll tell you my favorite phrase, Blake, which is we're just going to have to see what happens, and you have plenty of reasons to tune in.
Caroline Sunshine with the Trump campaign. Caroline, nice to see you. Come on back here on the Hill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.